Hello everyone, today we'll be presenting our project on the development of vascular phantom systems and its integration with a machine learning classification algorithm to detect stenosis using Doppler ultrasound images. Vascular disease such as stenosis as a major health concern and a Doppler ultrasound is a widely used non-invasive method to study blood flow patterns. However, interpreting these images can be challenging, especially when changes in vessel diameters or flow symmetry are subtle. Our objective was twofold: first, to construct a phantom that realistically mimics healthy and stenotic vessels, and second, to implement a machine learning model capable of classifying these conditions automatically. We built the phantom using an agar-based gel, glycerin, and alcohol to mimic soft tissue acoustic properties, and peristatic pulse generating pulsating flow simulating different hemodynamic conditions across voltage ranging from 10 to 17 volts. We estimate flow velocities using the continuity equation, taking into account the inner diameter of the silicon tubing, flow rates, increasing voltage ranging from 1.7 centimeters per second approx to 10 volts to 4.7 centimeters at 17 volts, which we confirm through color Doppler imaging.
To simulate soft tissue, we prepared gelatinous mixture using agar-agar, distilled water, glycerin, and 70% of alcohol. Glycerin was key for tuning the density and acoustic impedance of the phantom, making it comparable to biological tissue, while alcohol helped preserve the structure over time. The mold was printed using TPU, a material compatible with ultrasound that minimizes acoustic reflections, which is especially important during the B-mode scanning. The phantom was evaluating using both B-mode and color Doppler. First, the B-mode, we were able to clearly differentiate between the top structure and the surrounding gel. In second part, the Doppler mode, we visualized real-time flow through the simulated vessel. As expected, the healthy artery condition produced a uniform flow with velocities around 15 centimeters per second, while the stenotic artery showed a turbulent and accelerated flow reaching above 30 centimeters per second. So this contrast validates the phantom's ability to replicate key clinical scenarios. The closed-loop system configuration was made with a dozen peristaltic pump and a 4-liter water reservoir to simulate continuous circulation. The flow was tested at 4 voltage levels, from 10 to 17 volts, producing increasing velocities and subtle changes in the Doppler distribution. For the estimated values, we estimate the flow speed using the continuity equation, the one that you can see in the screen, also based on the known diameter of the tubing. For the ultrasound image acquisition, we capture at each voltage level and manually label it to ensure correct classification later on.
In vivo imaging, we observed a clear structural difference between the healthy and stenosed vessels. The stenosed artery shows a reduced diameter and a visible obstruction, while the normal artery has uniform parallel walls without narrowing. This confirms the phantom's ability to replicate anatomical variations relevant to vascular diagnosis. Using color Doppler, we also verified flow behavior. In stenosed vessels, we saw increased speed and pressure gradients, reflected by high-intensity red zones and turbulence. In contrast, normal arteries display laminar flow with more uniform red or blue coloring and moderate velocities. This visual evidence supports the correct simulation of hemodynamic changes caused by stenosis in our model.
First, we load and analyze 77 ultrasound DICOM images. We apply processing steps like grayscale, conversion, logarithmic, and median filtering. Then, using the threshold based on intensity, we segment the relevant region, typical, the character, and the vascular walls. Around the bricks text pixel, we extract a local path and calculate 6 prototypes factors, including intensity, variability, red, blue colors, proportions, segmented area, and continuity. We then define the target vector using a clinical labels. Images labeled as stenosis are converted to 1 and SANA converted to 0. The struct factors become an input X and the labels output G, forming the complete dataset for training. Using MATLAB, we implemented a neural network form SCARCH, which one hidden layer and the sigmoid activation function. We trained using the backpropagation algorithm over 400 epochs, minimizing the error by adjusting the weights and the bias.
In this phase, we implemented a multi-layer perceptron model trained with features extracted from DICOM ultrasound images. The dataset was manually labeled to distinguish between healthy and stenosis vessels. Input vectors were standardized and a training validation split was applied to assess generalization. The MLP was able to recognize nonlinear feature patterns that correlate with stenosis such as wall irregularity and lumen intensity. Although most classifications were accurate, we observed more misclassifications, mainly in ambiguous or low contrast images, which suggest the need for more robust input variability. Overall, the results were consistent with what we expected for a proof-of-concept model. Future improvements include expanding the dataset, comparing performance with a CNN using raw images, and eventually testing with real clinical data.
This project demonstrated that MLP neural network could effectively classify ultrasound images of stenosed and healthy vessels based on the extracted features. The model achieved accurate results in most cases and successfully generalized despite image variability. These outcomes highlight the neural network strength in capturing several morphological and intensity-based differences, which will be difficult to detect using rule-based methods, and also it confirms that the AI-driven classification can provide strong performance even in early-stage experimental setups like ours.